Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's wildcard video. And as you saw by the thumbnail, we're doing a little bit of Karlov Manor sealed today. I know it's past pre-release, but on Sundays what I like to do here on the channel is just something slightly different than normal. Monday through Friday we're drafting Karlov Manor Premier Draft. Saturday we've got some Historic Brawl, and Sundays it's a bit of a wild card. So today we're doing some sealed event Karlov Manor. What I plan to do here is kind of show you my pool that I'm going to open and then cut to the eventual deck build that I did, just to save a little bit of time for us all here. Not show you my exact process of building the deck, but I will show you all the cards that I open and the options that I could have, and we will go from there. Let's see what rares we get, and if we get more than 6, as we are now playing with play boosters, and boy did we. And it doesn't say there are X more. Now, which ones did we get, though? Archdruid Charms, not great. Leyline, unplayable. A couple of rare lands. We did get a Doorkeeper Thrall, which is not great. Reenact the Crime, which is not great. Assemble the Players, maybe if there's support for it. Mass Hysteria is unplayable. Look at this set of rares. We got an absolute dud of a pack here. There is Kaya, Scholar, Sharp-Eyed Rookie, and to a lesser extent, Assemble the Players as the only 3 out of these 9 rares that I think are basically even remotely playable. So let's see if we can fill out the rest of the deck with any sort of luck here. What do we got in white? Couple of Consultants, a Museum Night Watch, and an Inside Source. No Novice Inspectors, notably. How about blue? There's an Exit Specialist that is a good uncommon. I do think Fae Flight is as well. So is Eliminate the Impossible. Crime Stopper Sprite's pretty good. Dramatic Accusation's probably fine. In sealed, we got a Projector Inspector, which I think is good. The Scholar. Okay, we've got a little bit of blue here. We have effectively no black. That is strange. Double Extracted Confession, a Basilica Stalker, and that's about it. So we're probably not playing black. In red, we have also really not much. We got a Concealed Weapon, Red Herring, a Drone Smith, not great. In green, we have a Bloomkin, several combat tricks here. Okay, there's a lot of green, it looks like. Sharp-Eyed Rookie, which is a good one. Tunnel Tipster is good. Eavesdroppers are good. Inspector could be fine. Panther is okay. Glintweaver's okay. Yeah, our green and our blue look to be the deepest here. When it comes to gold cards and fixing, looks like we do have an Escape Tunnel. Got a couple of these here. And what are the gold cards that we have? Got a Dog Walker. Complication, Sentry, there is the Kaya, Snoop, a couple of lands, and a Soul Search. So I did not play the pre-release in this event for this format in the past, I guess it was 2 weeks ago at this point. Is it common to have a pool that is this bad? I think the only way we make this remotely playable is just play blue-green, because those are the only colors in which we have cards that are even remotely good. I mean, I guess we have some white, but not enough. We don't have any blue-white gold cards to go with a blue-white deck. We could probably make blue-white work, but we just don't have the gold cards. We'd have to splash a Kaya. Green-white could potentially work with Sentry, Dog Walker, splash a Kaya off of a Mortuary and a Escape Tunnel, maybe. That could work. So I'm thinking either green-white or green-blue more than likely. So you've seen the entirety of this horrible pool here, and I'm going to cut to after I have built my deck, and we'll see what I ended up with. Okay, this is what I ended up with. I said blue-green was an option, and it looks like that's what I'm playing. And we are basically just playing blue-green creatures. We've got an inspector with 10 detectives. Got a couple of flip cards. I'm playing both of my rare lands because it could let us cast Hellion or Snoop potentially, and they're just blue-green lands that enter tapped and surveil. Got an escape tunnel as well to fix a little bit if we wanted to. Not a lot of interaction. We didn't get any shocks. We didn't get any galvanizes. Didn't get any murders. Didn't get any uncommon removal spells. So we've got double dramatic accusation is what we're going to have to do there. Flotsam and Jetsam, and the fact that sealed is likely a little bit slower of a format could be pretty good. We've got eliminate, a fey flight, and a combat trick here as well. We've got a good amount of disguise creatures here. By a good amount, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, at least 4. This could be a 2 if we need it to be. So we've got a little bit of synergy, not synergy, a little bit of flexibility here with our pool. It's honestly the only thing I could really realistically come up with this pool. I have not played Karlov Manor Sealed, but should be an interesting experience with this deck. Not exactly sure how it's going to do, but I will see you in game number 1. Alright, starting on the draw with Tipster on 2, and that is good enough, because we can disguise an ambusher on 3, and then play Eavesdropper on 4, and good to go. They have Shock, though, which is not great for our Tunnel Tipster. Yeah, I mean, I know they have Shock, so do I expose the Tipster here? I mean, I know it's going to eat the Shock. It's going to take up part of their turn 3. I mean, I'd rather do that than play a 1/1 Flourishing Bloomkin, so I guess this is going to eat the Shock. You hate to see that, but... So which creature do we disguise next turn? Probably the Bloomkin. That helps us get our land once we hit to 5. Once we get to 5 here. Reckless Detective, you know, Shock and Detective. Two aggressive cards we did not see in our pool, even remotely. So let's see if they play a land, play Shock, and then play Unscrupulous Agent or something like that. Nope, okay, at least they didn't have anything else, so... Yeah, let's disguise the Bloomkin here. Next turn, play Eavesdropper, and if we hit a land in the next 2 turns, we can undisguise this thing, get our Surveil land, and go from there. Gosh, what is this? Draft? Shock, Novice Inspector, Detective. All these are great cards. I'm just sitting here like... Eat my blue-green creatures. Okay, Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Yeah, a bit too slow at this point, so let's play Eavesdropper. See if that dies. Don't think I'm going to attack with this thing, only because they have 3 mana up, and it could be any number of combat tricks here. They did have murder mana, and they chose not to kill this, potentially, so... Could just be a combat trick. Slimy Dual Leech, +1/+0 and Death Touch. So it's going to attack as a 3/3. I guess I have to trade it with the Eavesdropper here. I mean, I don't have to, but I should probably stop letting them loot and things. So let's do this. Missed a land drop, unfortunately. So I can play Sharp-Eyed Rookie and Vitu-Ghazi Inspector here. I think I'll do that. I believe I can collect Evidence 6. I don't have anything to do with my graveyard as far as I know. Let's put the counter... So this has Death Touch, right? No, that just attacks with Death Touch. So then we can... This is going to become a 4/4. How does this trigger work? Is the trigger on the stack already? Trigger should be on the stack. That's weird that it's not. see what happens if I do this. There we go. Okay. That's what I thought would happen. So it triggered in response to it being targeted. Kind of strange. I don't like that. The fact that it's a 2/1 menace death touch, that's not great for me. Their deck is not looking to be a very good Jetsam deck for us, so I don't think I'm going to be casting Jetsam at any point. Still don't have the lands to flip this, unfortunately. I really do need to find a land here. So I think I have to crack both clues. I need to continue to not... There we go. Alright, now I have some options. So... Go to combat. They could still have a combat trick. Otherwise, they would have attacked with other things, though. So, let's see if they choose to block this. Well, they'll just kill it, I guess. Or exile it, even better. Yeah, this Dual Leech is a problem. The only way I can get rid of it is to Accusation and also shuffle in. Guess I'll disguise this and continue to take damage here. Take 2. Makeshift binding on my Fairy Snoop. That's okay. I actually preferred to have the Bloomkin on board here. Still nothing great for us to get. I mean, if the Dual Leech goes to the graveyard, then Jetsam would be pretty good. I might just undisguise this thing. I could also undisguise this, play Ambusher next turn, and then kill it. So let's attack. And then turn it face up. Get these two, put this one onto the battlefield. Ooh. That's pretty good. I can keep that. Now next turn I can play Ambusher and still hold up Feyflight as protection. If they try to kill our Bloomkin because we attack and we force their Dual Leech to block here. Probably want to give it to itself. Yeah, now it opens up attacks here. Alright, I guess I'll trade the Inspector for a combat trick against Novice Inspector here. It's not really doing all that much for me except trading for a card out of their hand, so that's okay with me. Sure. And they didn't even get full value off of this because that creature won't die this turn, so that's fine with me. Oh, this is now tapped, unfortunately. I am at 10. Alright, I might have to shuffle this thing away. Go ahead and just play this here. I probably... Oh, I didn't even leave myself shuffle opportunity. So I have to take at least one more hit off of this stuff here. But we do have a good amount of pressure right now, so... And we have protection, because this ETB is with Flash and gives Hexproof. And also +1/+0 in flying, so... Just have to kind of survive long enough here. There's the Hexproof we'll need. take 6? Yeah. Or take 4, I guess. Go to 6. Could be okay. So you have 8 mana, so we can undisguise this thing and crack a clue. We can also crack the clue, play this disguised, and then undisguise it, which would also be very good. Can also have the option to shuffle that away if we absolutely have to. So I think I'm probably going to bounce whatever they target with their dual leech here and then block whatever they don't target. See if Bloomkin dies. They're technically dead on the backswing. Oh, another one. Good for you. Sure. No longer suspected, interestingly. They can't target that anymore. They have to target this. Sure. Go ahead and bounce that thing. The Jetsam still doesn't have a great target. I mean, best we can get is like Reckless Detect. That's the only thing we can get currently, unless we mill something better. Is it better to just mill 3 and investigate? I can flip this up and eat their Novice Inspector here. I could also escape tunnel, sacrifice it on this, undisguise this. They probably have to block exit specialist. They go to 1. I think I'm gonna... I do still have something in hand, though. I don't know what it is. I think I'm gonna do this. And they kind of have to block, because I could have anything that could kill them here. So let's go to damage. That dies. And now, I guess Jetsam guarantees me at least a creature. I could even get Novice Inspector, which is just something. Novice Inspector and Reckless Detective is all I've got. Ooh! Hello, Judith. What a flip off of that. I mean, right now it's just a 3-4. We don't have any spells in hand, but, I mean, it's better than a Reckless Detective, I think. Scapegoat has Menace. I can't block it, and I hope they don't have a trick that kills me. Do they have a way to deal 4 to the face? That's 4. What's 4 gonna do here? Looking in their yard, collecting evidence. No, returning. Okay, so play a novice inspector and then still be dead on board. Go to my turn, draw a land. That can't be blocked. Attack with all and then undisguise this thing. And then that should be good. Alright, managed to push through there. We were on the back foot, but had just enough to get through for the win. Starting on the draw again here, we have Specialist. We have a Surveil land. We have at least 3 looks at a forest because of our Surveil land on 1 here. So we'll keep this. Good old 1-drop. Rebel Belt Maverick, sure. Alright, perfect. Got the forest. Now what do we need to top? Well, that's about our... I think I have to keep it because we only have 2 interactive spells in this entire deck, and I think I need to make sure I have at least 1 in hand. We're going to see if Tunnel Tipster dies here on 2. It looks like it will, but I can't not play it. So we'll do this. We'll disguise this on 3. I'm sure this will get galvanized here. I could have held it up and protected it with Faith Flight, but I mean, I'd rather just get the removal out of their hand while they can. If they had that last turn, why did they just not use it? They must have top decked it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they had it. I don't know why they didn't use it, but okay. Sure. Galvanize it is. And, okay. Go ahead and play this disguised here. Hopefully they just have some big dumb 4-drop. Even if it's like Tin Street Gossip, that should be okay because I could just flip this up next turn and bounce it. Never mind. It will get shocked and galvanized. What it must be to have both of these cards in your sealed pool. Pretty nice. I mean, we have a 3-mana 2/2 flyer. Haha, you don't have shock anymore. Obviously not blocking if they're attacking a 1/1 into a 2/2. Down goes Crime Stopper Sprite as well. And now we've got nothing left in hand, unfortunately. Alright. Let's play this thing. Now we do have a little bit of protection for our creature. We have tons of creatures in the deck. I think we're playing 16 at least. Probably more. I think we have we have 5 non-creatures, so maybe 18. Alright, they're at 6 mana. What do you got for 6 mana? If it's removal, you should do it now, because this does have hexproof on my turn. Although they might be trying to use a combat trick. Okay, locked hothouse. That is a card I struggled to use in draft, but they're already 1 land away. Let's try to use Fanatical Strength to blow through their combat trick here. Looks like they do have one. We'll see what it is. Could be their own fanatical strength as well. Sure. I'll go ahead and trade strength for your strength and still eat your Maverick here. And then just play the Snoop. I am tapped out of Faithlight, but see if they have a land here. Red Herring. Must attack. I don't think I will be blocking, because I would rather get my extra card. And now I definitely won't be blocking. Well, Accusation is really not good against Red Herring, because they can still sacrifice it. So I basically just have to do this and see what I can find this turn. Well, I can't cast it yet, but that's okay. I'm not going to take a land over it. So hold up Faithlight here. Get in with Gadabout. Plan to block their Red Herring with my 1/4. They might just sacrifice it, yeah. I think their best plan of winning this is finding a land, flipping this, and hopefully they survive long enough to draw more than once, like draw 2 or 3 cards a turn. That is what happened here. Ah, that card is so good. 4 mana for 2/2/2s with upside. That both have Ward 2 and can be flipped up at some point. So that's not great. Something I could do is cast Faithlight on this on my turn, and it has Hexproof on my turn, so it also just can't be blocked right now, so there is that. Let's start here, see what we find. Two lands? Well, that makes my decision easy. Go to combat and put him to... I could put him to 8, which would put them dead next turn. So this puts them to 9. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So if I do this, this technically puts them dead next turn. So they go to 8. I currently have 7 on board plus +1/+0 and flying for the Gadabout next turn. So technically dead on board. Not of the bone. Really? Not of the bone? Gains them 2 life and puts them out of range? That's the card you had? Sure. Okay, they're at 10. Yeah. I can't say I expected Gnawed of the Bone to be the last card in hand, but it was. Alright, you have a 4/5. Got a land. Got a land. So they've drawn 3 cards this turn. Alright, that's the 4th. Okay, take 6, I guess? Okay, no blocks. Take 4. I mean, this card is good when it goes off. It's just in the deck that I had it in, the draft deck that I had, it certainly did not go off, as they say. It could never get to 7 lands. So, all right, let's see if this does anything here. Gonna bounce their Lumbering Laundry. And then be able to attack with Gadabout and Scholar here. They might be able to flip this up if it's like some sort of 2-drop. But if that's the case, then sure. Otherwise, they go to 4, and now they're not in a great spot. I have several blockers back here. It's usually a good sign if they're sacrificing creatures to draw cards. See how many cards they draw off of case this time. There's a chance whatever's on the top of their library doesn't even help them, though, so... If it's not a land... Yeah, that probably doesn't help them here. That's a land. Looks like they got another spell and they're wondering if they want to cast that one or not. Yeah, so that's not a land. We'll see what it is here. We have a couple removal spells. And as long as one of these survive, we can give it flying. No attacks, sure. Well, this has hexproof, so, I mean, unless they can... I guess they can cast Gnaw to the Bone for 1, 2... So they're at 8 right now. This gets 5, 6, 7, 8. That is lethal. Unless one of these is a flyer, or they have removal for one of these two things. This is tough. I mean, this technically is just lethal right now, so I mean, I guess we go for it. Either of these cloaked cards could be flyers or something too, though, so there's many ways this doesn't work out for us, but there's at least one where it does. We know both of these cards don't save them, so they have 3 cards that they could use, technically 5 cards they could use to save them here, so see what it is. Okay, that has reach. That's that's good. It's very good. Okay. Go to 1. Tap that thing down and see what happens from here. I guess I didn't think there was many cloaked cards they could have had that would have eaten a 5/2 flyer, but that was one of them. What is that? Sack a non-land permanent, 1 damage to any target. So are we dead now? I guess that's from the list. Okay, and sacrifice what else? If you're going to sacrifice one of your creatures to kill the Scholar, I'm fine with that. Does this shut off activated abilities? Nope. So the Magma could still do stuff, but we could shuffle it in. Okay, that's probably a good sign. I could also just block their Magma with Hotshot Investigators here. The Gnaw to the Bone gains them 1, 2, 3, 4, gains them 8 life now. Probably have to save Accusation for Laundry, though, as it's a 4/5, and that's bigger than everything we have. How many cards left? 13? Not of the Bone, gain 8. Alright, you're at 9, I'm at 9. Alright, well, let's race. They can sacrifice it, but, I mean... we still got rid of it. Okay, jump, sure. Sure. Alright, close game here. They got all sorts of list cards and things doing all sorts of work, including... Gnawed of the Bone, MVP of this matchup so far. Who would have thought? I think I will be chumping Magma with Fairy Snoop here. I can't afford to go to 3 with a Magma on the board, because this, as long as they have... Oof. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't go to 3. It feels bad to chump here, but I mean, they could just sacrifice this, and that. And a land. Alright, that should probably do it, I would think. So, couldn't quite draw our way out of the end there. Case the Locked Hothouse did win it for them. Good card when it's good. Horrible card when it doesn't work. It was good for them. Alright, we do get to go first this time, and I think I will keep this Sprite Panther, nice little combo. Probably going to cycle this onto... go ahead and get a green here. Could cycle this on 2, and then just guarantee I hit my land drops. Give myself Collect Evidence 6 here, lock something down. Here comes a Novice Inspector, I'm sure. Is my pool really that bad? Like... I didn't get any of these cards. I didn't get a Shock, a Novice Inspector. I got one of the 3 mana white creatures that are good. I can't remember the name of it. 3 mana for a 1/1 and a 2/2. I didn't get any Galvanizers, no murders, no interaction, no nothing. We had like 4 black cards total in our entire pool. Yeah, I guess I can use the Collect Evidence for this. And maybe some point later in the game, we're able to use the Sprite here. But this is a 2 mana, 2/4, gain 2 life with Reach. It's a pretty good deal. Okay, there's a disguised creature. Here's a 4 mana, 3/3. No attacks. I guess I could have attacked, but I feel like the way we win this is getting to the late game. They're looking as the red-white deck to probably get us killed before we can do much. Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Well, let's start by doing this. Let's see if they kill the Eavesdropper in response here. No. Okay, are you going to kill the Eavesdropper if I attack now? Exile target attacking creature. Hopefully he's not exiled. I would like that in my graveyard for the Crime Stopper sprite, but exile target attacking creature. This isn't the most mana efficient thing to do here, but if we draw a land next turn, we can Inspector, and even if we don't, we can Inspector. We get 2 shots at a land. It gets a counter on this thing, although I'm sure they have another removal spell, because why wouldn't they? Yeah, what is this? This is why I'm not a huge fan of sealed and pre-releases in general. Like, I did the best with what I could, and we have played against all of the best commons in the format. And my pool had literal 0 of them. I'm making do with what I've got, but everything is just dying, so... Let's start here. I don't want to get rid of the Glint Weaver. I do think that's an important card for us. I don't really want to get rid of Dramatic Accusation. I think it's one of our only interactive spells. I guess I'll get rid of this and play a Crime Stopper sprite then. Just need creatures on the board against this deck. And now they've got the magical 5 mana, so they can start attacking with these things with impunity without my ability to really effectively block them, not knowing what they are. Here comes one of them. At least now we know which one to Dramatic Accusation, because if... Okay, well now it's easier. So let's go ahead and just get rid of that thing. And I think I'm okay trading an Inspector for their 2/2 here. No detectives on the horizon. We are going to gain some life at some point if we hit at least one more land. Basilica Stalker. Okay, that's a good card to have traded off. They don't have any black in hand though, so I guess that's why they traded it. Okay. Fayflight, not bad. They don't have anything. I mean, I guess they could have another not on my watch here. Just, do they want to use it? I guess not. Okay, go ahead then. 5 cards in hand, 5 lands on the battlefield, and no responses. So they just top deck that shock too. Are they just like a primarily black deck or something and don't have any black lands maybe? Unfortunately, we already binned our green surveil land, but okay, there's a swamp. Okay, I guess they are a priority black deck here. Oh. Okay. I mean, I guess we investigate at the very least. Okay, got a land, so we can at least just play a 6-mana 6/6, gain 6 life. Oh no! Oh, I thought they had Galvanize. They had something that could target a creature. If they had Galvanize, that would have been just so bad for us. But they have something that can target a creature. So we know that. It might be a combat trick. Unscrupulous Agent. I think I'll get rid of Accusation. Eliminate the Impossible helps us top deck a little bit more. Or gets us, you know, Investigation here. They will chump. Play a Tunnel Tipster and pass. And now it's a bit of a top deck war. They've proven they really, like, don't have a whole lot going on over there. Well, I lied. They have Judith. That is a whole lot going on over there. Okay, that's a pretty good draw. Okay, Judith doesn't save them anymore. They just play Judith, they die. Unless they also have Judith plus, like, a removal spell, which looks like they didn't. Okay. So our deck is kind of struggling a little bit, but I think we're just kind of playing our way out of it. So let's see if we can continue here. Alright, we get to go first here with Tunnel Tipster on 2, and maybe it won't get shocked this time. Maybe we can be lucky? At least once? Possibly? Who knows? Got a Gadabout on 3. And I guess Flotsam and Jetsam is pretty good for Crime Stopper Sprite here. I always want to cast the Jetsam half of this, though. Oh, look, another red-white deck. What's new? I guess I'll do this, and don't need another land, and use this for the Gadabout, I suppose. We're just playing against all red-white here today. Inside Source. That's the card I was trying to think of a game ago that we have one copy of. And also one copy of Phantom. And then, like, no black cards and any of that kind of stuff. We're 1 mana away from Topiary Panther, interestingly. So Jetsam and Flotsam and Jetsam looking horrible here. So something we could do is just play Flotsam, because Jetsam is probably not gonna get a whole lot from their side. And then we can Sprite down I guess this, because this can just trade with this if we want it to. And then if we hit a land next turn, we could just play a 6/5 trample. And there's a disguised creature, there's a flyer, and they don't want to trade. Interesting. Did not hit a land. So let's do... I don't like how they have priority. This could be the 3/2 undisguised, like when it gets undisguised, it deals damage to our face. It could also be shock, which would really not be good. This isn't the most mana efficient thing to do, but it does get rid of their creature. It pushes some more damage. It has hexproof. It can't get blown out by shock. And then I guess we draw. because there's not much else we can do here. See if we hit a land. Now I think this is the 3/2. I can't remember that, Showstopper or something or other. Can't remember the name of it. That's my guess on what this card is here. Drawing all our expensive stuff. Assemble the players. Okay. Can we get them dead before that matters? Do not know. I probably have to cycle this thing now. We have so much things to do at this point that I guess I'm trading Gadabout for a 2/2 here. I don't have to. So why don't we just do this then. Basic land cycle here. And the most mana efficient thing to do would be to play the Eavesdropper. Could also just play the Hellion and make this a 2/2. I think I'll be mana efficient and play the Eavesdropper here though. And then a land lets us play Glintweaver. Honestly, a land lets us play either of these. Glintweaver would be quite good. But the issue is they did just leave up a bunch of mana here. So let's do this. And honestly, we can put them all here. That guarantees they don't blow out our counters. It becomes a 7/5 hexproof. If we try to put them all here and they remove it in response, we only gain 3 life. Not that we need a ton of life here, but like... I think I'm just going to guarantee I get a bunch of life and have an enormous creature. This can also attack into most things. It can trade for a Riftburst Hellion if that's what either of these things are. Although they don't have the mana to flip up a Hellion here, so... I don't know what these are. They could be flyers that I don't want to attack into. Let's just attack here. See what it is. I'm sure they'll flip something. This is lethal too. They do have to block. Okay, so they have some sort of trick, obviously. +2/+2 and investigate is what I think it is. On the job. Okay, well, if they have to use on the job defensively, that's something that's fine with me. We did just get a clean 2-for-1 there. Just don't know what these things are. Yeah, that's a pretty good draw. Let's start by cracking this thing. And then getting in here. I would like to kill... I don't know which. Usually their second permanent is more valuable. They haven't traded off with this one though, this first permanent. So I think I'll stick to my guns and just do the second permanent here. See what we got. Shady Informant, okay, not bad. And then I'll play this, turn this into a 2/2, and unless they have no witnesses, the board wipe, this is probably good enough, and it looks like it is. Alright, moving to 3-1, and this was a Bullrack Clan Crusher. Interesting, so they were both pretty good. But we'll take the win. Alright, we're up first again with Tipster on 2. It survived last game, and it was good enough to help us to a victory. Let's see if it can survive this game. I think it is 1 for 3 in surviving, I suppose. Inspector. Now we'll lead on Tipster here. Could play Hellion Disguised next turn. This becomes a 2/2. That is what I think I will do. Now we have 4 mana next turn. If we miss a land drop, could have Murder. Looks like they do. Close enough. Okay. I don't think either of these are worth casting right now. They're not doing much for me on defense. I guess I could have cast the Sprite, but I'd also like to protect the Sprite a little bit. So something I could do is Fey Flight and eliminate the Impossible to take down their Cold Case Cracker. I think I'm just going to play the Pompous Gadabout, though. I want to get my creatures down when I can. My ones that actually affect the board and don't have it, you know, don't have abilities later like these do here. Leaving up blue-green. Could be that counterspell. Nah, it's just removal. Of course it is. Okay. Alright, let's offer the trade and then eliminate the Impossible if they decide to take it. Looks like they don't. Now, I still can't collect evidence here, which isn't great. I might cycle eliminate the Impossible just to prevent 5 damage here. It also lets me collect evidence. Prevents 4 damage, not 5. Another disguised creature. And they're leaving up that counterspell suspiciously. I mean, if they have it, they have it. I see, like that one that like counters unless you have the total power of creatures you control and things like that. This is also something I'd like to disguise and not just cast as a 2/1. I guess at this point I can trade this thing off for one of their creatures, because it also opens up the ability for this to come in and collect evidence. So I'll just let this happen. Okay, well, doesn't quite trade, I guess. Go to damage, and yeah, end the turn, I guess. I'm not liking our chances in this late game here. Okay, what do we sacrifice? I guess we'll sacrifice the Hellion here. We have so much to do with all of our mana. And the flyer is good. I think I'll just put the counter on itself. Well, I can put the counter on the sprite. Well, if I put the counter on itself, it can still block this, but this can also just trade for that. I think I'm going to want to be exit specialisting and bouncing their cracker here. So let me just do this so that I can just not trade off with it. Go to combat, no attacks, and I'll just play the disguised creature here. Still not choosing to flip up their disguised creature, interestingly. And if they attack with it, I can't really block it, and they didn't, and they're doing nothing. That's not something I really like. Let's just get a little bit of tempo here. I mean, unfortunately, it's not going to be super great because they're not doing anything with their mana is the problem. So, this can't be blocked by creatures power 3 or greater, but the Fairy Snoop just eats it for lunch. I guess I can... Oh, what is that? Rift Burst Hellion. Yeah. If I can figure out a way to get that to their graveyard, then I can jetsam it. Yeah, they're still leaving up a bunch of mana, though. Which, as long as they have mana up, I can't really effectively block that thing. I would very much like it to go to their graveyard, though. But they're just not letting me do that. And if they don't choose to cast their Cold Case Cracker here, then clearly they're up to all sorts of shenanigans. Yeah, see, they've definitely got something. Yeah, I don't know. Just waiting for some sort of counterspell or something. I mean, they keep holding up blue and green. Probably gonna have to get no value for the flip here. Target creature blocks this turn if able. It's just not... I would like to have a larger creature, and it takes a lot of mana to do that. Alright, do I risk just casting Jetsam? The problem is they don't have a single creature in their graveyard. If I don't hit a creature, I don't do anything. Oh, I can cast a spell. I can cast anything. Can I collect evidence? I guess I could collect evidence 6 because this will be in the graveyard, and then I can get rid of their Hellion if I don't want... Okay. First of all, let's see if they counter it. They've represented a counterspell for a while here. For some reason, I always thought this just said a creature spell, but... Yeah, see, double Tunnel Tipster, that doesn't really do what I want. So let's do this. This is still on the stack. Why is that not in the graveyard yet? Let's do here, and I know they get to investigate, but I also still have hexproof here if they try to remove this in response, which I do think they are looking to do. Oh, do they just have the counter spell or something? Yeah, I feel like they would have countered Jetsam. Hexproof +2/+2. Yikes. There it was. Okay. Alright, well that was a big old waste. They have a 5/5 flyer now. Alright, I think this one is pretty close to over, unfortunately. What is a way I survive here? I try to block this thing with Culvert Ambusher, and they remove it in response, and then I get 2 for 1. Like, I can't just keep taking 5. Yeah, alright, well. As bad as this feels, I mean, you have to take a little bit of risks here. And if they remove this in response, then I'm just conceding, so. Alright, that worked. And it does have hexproof. I guess I could, like, double block over here, but then I just trade this and I still have to deal with the 5/5 flyer, which is probably a bigger problem. Do they also have a combat trick now? They have +3/+3 and trample? No? Okay. I don't know what we can draw at this point. Our deck is not very powerful. We just have a bunch of 2s and 3s. I will say that is certainly not it, though. Three/4 flyer. Yeah, alright. Well, yeah, we just ran out of power against that deck there. They just had too many of their good cards, and we just had too many of our mediocre cards. Alright, starting on the play with a slow hand, but a good one. We've got some of the better cards in our deck in our hand right now, so going against Shocker of the Day, a red-white deck. Oh, red, white, black. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. And next turn, Eavesdropper. Okay, they do have something they can use to kill that if they wanted to. Looks like they've got Galvanize or something like that. I guess I'll let them go ahead and kill my Eavesdropper then. I guess I could just play a Disguised Ambusher to play around Galvanize here. It's not the most mana efficient thing to do, but it does play around Galvanize, and I do know that they got priority as soon as this hit the battlefield, so that's why I'm playing around it. And if I just play the Eavesdropper, they're just going to trade their 2 mana for my 4 mana. Instead, I let them light it on fire there. Give me a land. Nope. Alright, now I'll trade the Galvanize. Could have used Fanatical Strength, but That would have meant I can't do anything else there, which isn't great. All right, Judith. That's a problem. Oops. It looked to be a mistake. Once again. Missed land. Let's do this. I need to get rid of Judith. I just, only way I can do that is accusation and shuffle here. Unless they choose to block, which I can't imagine they do. Alright. Fine by me. Traded a combat trick for a Judith. I will take it. So they have Judith and Rakdos, and we have Loxodon Eavesdropper and Culvert Ambusher. Alright. I'm going to shuffle it in after they draw, just so they don't have even a 1 in 25 chance of drawing it again. So let's end the turn, go to draw, and then shuffle this thing in. What is this? Destroys target tapped creature? Okay. You're still dead on board. And then galvanize, and then die to... Yep, there was the galvanize we thought they had. Alright, we managed to beat a Judith and a Rakdos back to back here. Which is pretty crazy. So I will take it. Alright, let's go. Who needs rares when you can just beat them down with a Flourishing Bloomkin and a Loxodon Eavesdropper? Alright, once again, get to go first. Still looking for blue. We have our both interactive spells in hand and a way to surveil here. Probably going to keep anything that's, or bin anything that's not an island. And then Tipster on 2, and we've got at least 3 or 4 looks at a blue, and we did find it. So let's see if Tipster survives this game. It's about half and half now. It started out not at all surviving, and the past few games it has survived. Red? Another red-white? Blue-white. Exit Specialist. Can't be blocked by creature's power 3 or greater. Okay. Yeah, let's do this and then get a 2/2 out of our Tipster here, and maybe next turn if we draw land we can flip this and ramp even more here. There we go. So this would still trade with the Courier if we flip it, but I think that's okay. Ooh, but... Alright, so now it trades with both. Well, that's really good for us. So not only did we get the 2-for-1, we got like an extra land, we ramped, we did all sorts of things there. Yeah, that was just too much value for them, I guess. Alright, I'll take it. I must admit, I do enjoy going first. We do have a 6-drop and a 7-drop in hand, but we got a 2, a 3, and a 3. A surveil land to find more lands. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. And maybe we find Tunnel Tipster on top. We've had him on 2 quite a bit here. Alright, I do usually want to keep these, but in this case I think I'm not going to. I need to find some lands. I'm gonna go ahead and play another tap land here. And yeah, lands are good. I'll keep them. So, next turn, play either Gadabout or Inspector. Look at him in his hat. Alright. So the good news about playing Gadabout is that if they do have Galvanize or something, it has Hexproof on my turn, so they couldn't target it. So I make them burn their 2 mana here. And if they want to play a Disguised Creature, I get to hit them for 4. If this does die, I do have Collect Evidence 6 waiting for me in the graveyard. Okay, that's good. We'll go ahead and I think just play Inspector here. Take the loot. Oh man, I can't get rid of both accusations. That's basically our only answers to things that are just like busted here. So I think I'm just going to get rid of this thing. It's probably the least valuable in our hand. No, you can hit me for 2, I guess. Down goes Gadabout, and down goes Inspector as well? No? Okay. Okay, I can afford to pay the ward 2 here as well. Yeah, I think I'll get rid of the Fairy Snoop. Again, I can't really afford to get rid of Accusation. It's like one of our only interactive spells, and I think we're only 1 mana away from this and 2 from that, and these are 2 of the best cards in our deck here, so I think I'll get rid of Snoop here. Turn it up, exit Specialist, bounce the Inspector. Okay. Well, if we miss a land, we've got another loot coming. Another morph. There's a land. Well, the investigators bouncing this is really not that great because they get to like bounce our thing again. But I don't really want to accusation anything either. So let's see if they want to do anything about me hitting them for 2. I guess I could just play Projector Inspector and just kind of go from there. Fey Flight is also really good. Alright, I'm going to rely on Fey Flight winning us this game, as well as Investigators being our interaction here and getting rid of Dramatic Accusation. I think... I know it's like our only interactive spell that's left in our deck pretty much, but at least this kind of protects a little bit from removal and also provides some evasion. Furtive Courier. Pass. Okay. Alright, that's a fine one to bounce. Let's see, red, blue. See if they have the counter spell, like the Reasonable Doubt, I guess, is what I'm thinking they have here. There it is. And I will let them trade. Okay, take 4 again, but I think this is still a... Ooh, well, take more than 4. Do they still have shock? That's really bad for me if they do. Yeah, it looks like they still have shock here. I do have fanatical strength to protect my things. Glint Weaver is kind of going to have to do some good work here, and I need fanatical strength. So, I mean, I get rid of the Bloomkin and... Gosh. A land? Do I have to get rid of Glint Weaver? And then they die next turn because I put them to 7, and then I attack with both. I use Strength and Fey Flight, which would give it plus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is technically lethal. If they don't have interaction or a way to deal an extra 2 damage to me. I mean, they could sacrifice their own informant to deal 2 damage to me. Oh, they've got shock. I know that. I already know they have shock, so that's not great. So they're going to go to shock the scholar, and then I have to do one of these on the scholar here. Okay, so I block Shady Informant. They do 2 damage to the other one. I Fey Flight in response. This is really tough here, knowing that they have shock. So I plan to block Shady Informant because I can't take it because they've got the shock here. And then I could use Fanatical Strength. But they're probably just going to trade and try to kill the sprite, and then I can protect the sprite as well. So here's shock to the face. I don't like seeing that. That means they have removal for Scholar as well. Problem with this is now they do get to kind of 2-for-1 us here. So pass to blockers, go here. Block. Now if I Fanatical Strength, then they can only kill one of them. Which one do I want to save? Well, clearly this, but they're just going to trade it here. We go to 4, next turn we go to 2. Okay, so they're gonna... This has hexproof, though, so they have to kill this one. Actually, now I just realized that. So, and this has Vigilance, so they're gonna shoot down the sprite, I assume. No? Well, actually, they should have shot our face. This has Menace. I just realized that. Okay, so they would have killed us if they hit us in the face, which they did not. So we're not officially dead, even though we did happen to draw land, as we usually do. Does that have haste? No? Okay, now we're dead. Yep, now we are dead. I feel like every time we get into this spot where we need like a couple of draw steps to just save us, it just doesn't work out that way. So I will still take 5 and 2 with what I thought was a pretty horrible sealed pool. It's where we ended up with this one, but you know what? I'll take it. Playing blue-green, which is historically horrible in every format ever. We had a pretty garbage set of rares in this pool. We had, I think, 9 rares in our 6 packs, and like 2 of them were playably good, and we couldn't even play the Kaya because we had 4 black cards in the entire pool. Not too great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some sealed content here. Again, this week we've got 5 consecutive premier drafts of Karlov Manor coming your way. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and join Patreon and check out what rewards you can get over at the Patreon as well for those of you interested in giving back. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.